Well, welcome back. You know, when people visit Chicago, they just think downtown, the skyline, but with 77 community areas and neighborhoods, there's so many places to see and explore in the city of Chicago.
Yeah, it's overwhelming, but in the best way.
Oh,
and
yeah.
we, of course, know the popular tourist sites. There's like Navy Pier, there's a Mag Mile. But we know, Ryan, there's so much more in each neighborhood that makes each one special. Well, exploring Chicago's hidden gems and the lesser-known charms is the focus of a new guidebook out called Perfect Day Chicago. And joining us now is the author, Wendy Altshuler. Good to be with you, Wendy.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to be here to talk about Perfect Day Chicago.
I know, it's exciting to have it because this explores 29 different neighborhoods. We know there's 77, but this talks about 29 of them. Talk about how you even begin to tell people what the perfect day in Chicago is.
Yeah, the scope of this felt very large when I first tried to tackle this because there are 77 community areas, but there are like over 200 different kind of neighborhoods that are unofficial neighborhoods. So I really just tried to pick a wide variety of neighborhoods from Andersonville to Pullman and everywhere in between. So I focused on 29. The book is structured by these different neighborhoods, and there are things to do in each of those sort of chapters that would appeal to everyone, whether you're a mother with young children or you're a couple and want to go hit the town. There's something here for you, for locals, for visitors, something for everyone.
And the fun part of putting this together, I'm guessing you had to do some recon on your own. So you actually went out yourself and experienced all these different things. I mean, we like to say summertime shy. There's always something going on. But how did you go through the process of compiling a perfect itinerary for a day in Chicago to experience these things yourself?
That's a great question. So I am a travel writer, a travel and adventure writer by trade. So I write about destinations all across the globe for major publications. And so when the publication reached out to me for Reedy Press to write this book, I jumped at the chance because I love writing about my city. So, so just being in the world of media and travel, I have had my finger on the pulse of Chicago for a long time now, just writing stories for these different publications. So that's how I got started.
That's really cool. So, okay, so we asked Wendy to pick some of her favorite recommendations to share with all of us. And the first on your list is Chinatown. Why'd you pick that as one of your favorites?
Chinatown is one of my favorite neighborhoods. And you can take the Red Line or public transportation, or you could drive. But one of the most fun ways to get to Chinatown is the water taxi. And it will drop you off right at Ping Tom Memorial Park, just a beautiful park that used to be a rail yard, but now is a wonderful park with a playground, a pagoda. There's an REI boathouse there, so you can get out on the water and have some activities there. And once you've built up an appetite, you can head over to Chinatown Square, which is a pedestrian-friendly area, and I feel like there's not enough of those in the city where you can walk around and not have to worry about cars. So Chinatown Square is one of those, and in Chinatown Square is my favorite restaurant in the whole city. It's Veggie House, and Veggie House is the only exclusively vegetarian Chinese restaurant in the city, and you don't have to be vegetarian to enjoy this restaurant. The chef is a very highly trained chef. He used to work at the Peninsula in Chicago, and so he created these wonderful dishes for the Shanghai Terrace there, but then has brought some of them to Veggie House, which is very casual.
Probably a little more affordable.
Oh yeah, that's exactly it. You get it at a fraction of the price that you would get at the Shanghai Terrace.
You also like Lincoln Park, the J. Parker, is at the rooftop there?
Yeah, Lincoln Park is a wonderful neighborhood. Obviously, you have the Lincoln Park Zoo that's there, which is wonderful for families. And the J. Parker is a rooftop on top of the Hotel Lincoln. It has a glass retractable roof, so if there's inclement weather, you can still enjoy the J. Parker. And also at Hotel Lincoln, they have a secret sushi speakeasy there called Sushi Suite 202. And it's basically a suite that's been gutted out, and there's an omakase experience there with a multi-course sushi meal of 6 seats and very intimate.
Is that fairly new?
I think it's relatively new, yeah.
Rooftop, I didn't know about that.
Yeah, so I would recommend going to the sushi suite, getting dinner, and then going and enjoying nighttime Chicagoland views, Chicago skyline views at the J. Parker.
Speaking of views, we know Cindy's rooftop in the Loop is good, but can we skip over that one? Because a lot of us know about that one. And I've never heard of Stanley's in Back of the Yards. You put that on your list.
Yes, Stanley's is one of those places that is a hidden gem. They do not have a website. There's a very little social media presence of Stanley's. And anyone who's read The Devil in the White City or heard of Upton Sinclair's The Jungle would be interested in the history of this area, because this is the stockyard area that stamped Chicago as the hog butcher of the world. And back then, the workers would go to the Whiskey Row and have a drink after work. And there's one tavern left in that area that's still there. And it is old school Chicago, and it is stamped in time. And it's the kind of place where you walk in and there's the old bar that's there with a Union inlay. It's just this gorgeous, wooden bar, and they play polka music on the jukebox. It's just a really special kind of hidden gem Chicago place in back of the yard. It's a wonderful neighborhood with a lot of other things to see there as well.
That's
I love
right in my wheelhouse.
I know.
Old school.
I know.
Very old school.
We could talk about this all day.
Yes.
I guess we'll have to check out the book. Wendy,
Yes.
thank you for joining us and sharing some of those hidden gems with us.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. Appreciate it.